Hi, my dear students. Good morning to all. Welcome back to Maths Online class. We are discussing with the fourth chapter, Factors and Multiples. Did all of you refer your fourth standard maths textbook? I believe all of you because you all are good students. Isn't it? Okay. Now you have a clear picture on what is a factor and multiple. Isn't it? Okay. Next, let me test what you know about divisibility rules. You have studied the divisibility rule of different numbers, isn't it? So, we'll have a checkup on divisibility rule of different numbers. Okay. So, we can start with the divisibility rule of 2. What is the divisibility rule of 2? You know, 2 is an even number. So, what will be the divisibility rule of 2? The divisibility rule of 2 is all the even numbers are divisible by 2. So what do we mean by even numbers? The numbers in which the ones digit is 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. The numbers ending up with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8 are even numbers. So, all even numbers are divisible by 2. This is the divisibility rule of 2. Next, what is the divisibility rule of 3? The divisibility rule of 3, we can check a number is divisible by 3 by adding up all the digits in the given number. That means if you are getting a number, when we add all the digits in that number, if we are getting the sum a multiple of 3, then we can say that number is divisible by 3. And another number is also having a same divisibility rule. Do you know which number is that? Yes, very good. The divisibility rule of 9 is also in a similar way. So what is the divisibility rule of 9? When we add all the digits in the given number, if we are getting a multiple of 9, then that number is divisible by 9. So, we discuss the divisibility rule of 2, 3, 9. Next, we can check what is the divisibility rule of 4. What is it? We can check whether the given number is divisible by 4 if the last two digits, that means the digit in the ones and tens place, that two digit is divisible by 4, then we can say the whole number is divisible by 4. So, for checking the divisibility of 4, we are checking only the last two digits. So, a similar divisibility rule for what? 8. The divisibility rule of 8 is also in a similar way. What is that? In 4, we are checking the last two digits. In the divisibility rule of 8, we are checking the last 3 digits. That means the digit in ones, tens and hundreds place. We are, if that 3 digits, if that digit are divisible by 8, then the whole number is divisible by 8. Next, the divisibility by 5. Very simple, isn't it? You know the multiplication table of 5. What is it? Starting with 5. 10, 15, 20, 25. Like that is the table of 5. So, what is the divisibility rule of 5? The numbers ending up with 0 or 5. All that numbers will be divisible by 5. So, the divisibility rule of 5 is, if the number is ending with either 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Similarly, the divisibility rule of 10. What is the divisibility rule? If the number is ending up with 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Now, which we left? Only one number. What is that? 6. What is the divisibility rule of 6? How can we get 6? 2 into 3, isn't it? That is the divisibility rule of 6. If the given number is divisible by both 2 and 3, then we can say the given number is divisible by 6. So, what is the divisibility rule of 2? If the given number is an even number, then it is divisible by 2. Now what is the divisibility rule of 3? If we add all the digits in the given number and if we are getting the sum a multiple of 3, then it is divisible by 3. What is the divisibility rule of 4? Last two digits are divisible by 4, then the given number is divisible by 4. Divisibility rule of 5. If the number is ending up with 0 or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. Divisibility rule of 6. If the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, not 1, both 2 and 3, then it is divisible by 6. Then 7 you are not studying, 8. The divisibility rule of 8 means the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. Divisibility rule of 9. If we add again the digits in the given number, if we are getting a multiple of 9, not 3, multiple of 9, then it is divisible by 9. And the last one, if the number is ending up with 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Now we can do some problems regarding the divisibility rules in order to get the concept correctly. Okay. Now we can solve one example. The given number is 1200. We can check whether 1200 is divisible by the given numbers, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 and 10. So I am going to check the divisibility of every numbers with 1200. So first we will check the divisibility by 2. The given number is 1200. So tell me whether 1200 is divisible by 2. What is the divisibility rule of 2? Yes. If the given number is an even number, then it is divisible by 2. So tell me whether 1200 is an even number or odd number. Yes, it is an even number. So this number is divisible by 2. Next we can check the divisibility by 3. So what is the divisibility rule of 3? Given number is 1200. So the divisibility rule of 3 is we are going to add all the digits in the given number. If you are getting the sum a multiple of 3, then the given number is divisible by 3. So let us find the sum of the digits. What we got the sum? We got the sum 3. So we can say this number is divisible by 3. If you are getting the sum a multiple of 3, then we can say that number is a divisible by 3. We are getting 3. 3 is a multiple of 3. But what about the divisibility of 9? In the divisibility of 9, we discussed that if we are getting the sum of the digits a multiple of 9, whether 3 is a multiple of 9? No. So we can say 1200 is divisible by 3 but not divisible by 9. Next, divisibility of 4. What is the divisibility of 4? I said we are checking the last two digits. Here what is the last two digits? 0. So if it is the case, we can say that number will be divisible by 4. If we are having last two digits 0, then we can say that number is divisible by 4. Next, the divisibility rule of 5. What is the divisibility rule of 5? If the number is ending up with either 0 or 5, it is divisible by 5. Here the number last digit is what? 0. So we can clearly say this number is divisible by 5. In the similar way, 1200 is also divisible by 10. Why? What is the divisibility rule of 10? The last number should be 0. That means the digit in the ones place should be 0. Then it is divisible by 10. So we can say 1200 is divisible by 10. Next we can check the divisibility rule by 6. What is the divisibility rule of 6? I said a number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. Here we have already found that 1200 is divisible by 2. Also it is divisible by 3. So we know this number is divisible by 2 and by 3. So we can say this number is divisible by 6 also. Now the last divisibility by 8. What is the divisibility rule of 8? the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. That means if this 200 is divisible by 8, then we can say the whole number is divisible. How will you check 200 is divisible by 8? Just divide 200 with 8. If you are getting remainder 0, then you can say that number is divisible. Here when we are dividing 200 with 8, we are getting quotient 25 and remainder 0. So we can say 1200 is divisible by 8. So we proved the divisibility rule, isn't it? This 1200 is divisible by 2, divisible by 3, but not divisible by 9. Why it is not divisible by 9? Because when we are adding the digits of the given number, we are getting the sum 3. 3 is not a multiple of 9. So this number is not divisible by 9. It is divisible by 4, divisible by 5, divisible by 10 and divisible by 6 and 8. Now in your textbook, page number 38, there is a table for testing the divisibility of some numbers. Try to do by yourself and find out the answers. So in today's class, we discussed the divisibility rule of different numbers. I hope all of you understood the divisibility rule. Revise the topic of divisibility rules and make the divisibility rules clear to you. Copy down the given notes and attend the given test paper. We'll meet with the next concept in the next video. Thank you.